Hello friends, hello flight simmers, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the A330-200, which is a premiere today on the channel. First time ever flying the A330-200, so it is rather exciting. Flying in Hawaiian Airlines colors from Boston to Honolulu, which is a surprisingly long flight. I think it is like 10 hours plus or something. We will look it up in just a second. But yeah, here we are in the A330-200, which is a really interesting plane, which has been for a very long time really been undercovered in terms of flight simming availability. I still remember very well back in the days when Aerosoft released the A330 for P3D, and everyone was in high expectations for them to release the 200 version as well, which never came in the end, and I was really frustrated about that. Yeah, then iniBuilds came along and provided us with a free A330-200, which is default in the sim. Pretty cool. It is from the exterior a work of art. Looks magnificently nice, I have to say, with the Rolls-Royce engines especially. So yeah, I think from the exterior it's a stellar job, as always from iniBuilds. From the inside, just as a heads up, it is rather disappointing. I really hope, and maybe someone from the iniBuilds team is listening, so please guys, please do some work on the inside, make it as good as the A350, as good as the A340, which you guys have released as well. I believe, and now I'm really far out of my zone of expertise, but I believe since you have done the A340 and really good A350 and other aircrafts as well, maybe it's not that much of work to put all the custom MCDU and all the custom flight management system and all that kind of stuff in there. Would be really nice to have it. So since we know that it's not really on pay-wear quality yet when it comes to flying this aircraft, this will be a bit of a yeah, manual flight is the wrong word, but we will be very careful in following LNAV and VNAV and all that good stuff. Maybe we will stay away from the managed mode a bit on the in the flight deck, and then we will, yeah, maybe flight manual, fly headings, fly tracks, fly open climbs and open descents and all that good stuff. So yeah, we will just see how it works. I am prepared for things not to go according to plan, and we will take them as they come. Really, we will try to get this one to Honolulu in a good fashion. So let's see how it works. And yeah, flying Hawaiian Airlines, which no longer is Hawaiian, right? So they just, I think it's about 1 month ago, they changed to Alaskan Airlines. Now I've not really read into that topic, but if anyone of you know, are they planning to keep the brand Hawaiian, or are they eventually switching everything over to Alaska? Because I think, at least in my perception, the Hawaiian brand is a quite popular one, quite famous as well. Also, they have magnificently nice paint job on here as well. So yeah, would be interesting to know if anyone of you guys know any more details about the merger or the acquisition rather than. Please feel free to share. Right, we are departing Boston in the early morning hours, around 8 AM, and then will be a full daytime flight, and then we will get to Honolulu later with hopefully better weather conditions. As you can see here, that is not really brilliant, but I think this is exactly the reason why people from Boston choose to board a 10-hour flight to Hawaii. So we will do so as well. So let's jump right inside and kick things off. Right, here we are. So on the first glance it looks like a rather nice Airbus cockpit. On a second glance you will see that all the MCDU, for example, that's the default sim MCDU menu, it does not really look how it should look. I think there's the fonts are not the correct one. Although now flying the A340 as well, it looks fairly similar, so I'm not even sure if it's the proper font or not. But yeah, this does not really look like the real thing, but I don't know. Yeah, let's take it as it is today. Let's be happy with actually having an A330-200 available to fly. So let's focus on that bit. The EFB works rather good. So OFP Yeah, 10 hour 42 minutes. That is a seriously long flight. In terms of takeoff weight, we are not even that far away from max takeoff weight, which surprised me a little bit because I know that the A330-200 is capable of incredibly long flights. But with a decent payload, which we have today, it seems like the range is coming down quite a bit. So there's not even that much more fuel we could take on for today. Now there is a pretty neat feature. I've imported this from SimBrief, and I'm just right now noticing that I have planned in kilograms. Let me very quickly change that. Okay, I think that's better. I will reload everything just to make sure there's no hiccups now. Yeah, so that's in pounds now. That looks better. Payloads. Aha, and then apply load. Let's go instant. Right, and we are all loaded up. As easy as that. Right then, flight number. Wait a minute, can we request that? Should be a way to request it, right? Oh, it's great. Oh, wait, there's... no, seems like it's not possible. Maybe it's just not hooked up yet or something, I don't know. No, routing is not in here. So this is gonna be less than 889. Cost index 10 and cruise initially is 340. Ah, that can't be right. There needs to be a way to get the SimBrief flight plan in here. I refuse to believe otherwise. Okay, I've got one step further. We have now have it on the secondary. That worked. There was the init request available. Let's try it like this. Activate secondary. Yeah. Okay, now we have it, but that was a strange way of doing it. That was really strange. Anyhow, let's plan then. Boston departure, runway 22 right on the Highland. The screen is reloading terribly slow. That is a bit annoying. Highland, no transition available. And then for the arrival, we will plan runway 08 left, and that should be the Maggie. Perfect. And then which transition? The Bitter. And Vias. Alright. Cool, now we will copy active over here. Sweet. Init. Second init then. Block fuel. 156.8. 2557.27. Zero fuel weight. 322.4. At 25.4. Alternate, I'm not even sure if we can enter it. Let's go 6.7. Missing 17,000 pounds. That's interesting. That's quite a bit. That is quite a bit indeed. Not sure if the wind will help with that. Probably not. 9.9. Getting better. Maybe it's because of step climbs. I mean, it already starts here, the issues, right? It's super unrealistic to go now and depart with that. But it is what we will do, and then I think we'll sort it out later by itself. Usually, or often with the default aircrafts, the fuel calculations are terribly incorrect. But we will try and make it work. Performance then. There is a calculator. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but we will just use to write 7,000 feet only. It is true. That's a rather. Wait, do they actually use to write for depart? Well, it is on the real ATIS, so I think they do. Departure 2 to right and 27. 27 is even shorter, so 2 to right it is. Wind 280 at 77. Surface is definitely wet. Anti-ice needs to be on. It's below 10 degrees and it's wet, it's raining. Let's try config 1 plus F. Still a flex 40, wow. Wow. Very performant aircraft this is. So flex 40, 162, 173, 174. Speeds are quite high, 162. And we can try config 2. Flex 40. Let's go config 2. I have, for some reason, I have more trust in config 2. Speeds are still pretty high. 156, 68. 156. 168. And... oh wait, actually send to FMGS. That's easier. 45. Right. This we can put to 1000 on standby. Let's go seatbelts. Let's fire up the APU. Constraints. Flight director. Let's go. Maybe I actually need to check out the departure as well. Initial climb 5000. Okay, I have to admit, on the navigation display it looks okay. It looks quite okay-ish. Better than I expected. Much better than I expected. Nevertheless, let's be prepared. Just pulling up my Navigraph charts. So after departure, heading 215, then an immediate left-hand turn to Chai. Max 210, 1200 above. Okay, to intercept course 142 to cross Chai at or above 1200 and at or below 210 knots. Then en route to Highland. Then there's Board, max 254,000 above. And then there's no constraints after that. Now I wonder if there's... it's all RNAV departures, right? There's only the Logan, which is non-RNAV. Ah, it's the initial part, I think, right? Right then. Are we on APU complete? Off and off. Ground. Are we on parking brake? Yes, we are. That's good. Chocks. Configs, close all. Well, that's all closed. GPU removed. Why can I remove chocks? I have to do it myself. One would think. Why can I not? Ah, there we go. Right, then I will spare myself the checklist today. And no DIs. Yeah, so I'm excited to see how this one is going. I have to say, I am surprised how good this looks on navigation display. Last time I tried this aircraft, this looked really messed up, but it of course depends on the kind of routing and departure and arrival routes we are flying. But let's see. So right now I'm fairly optimistic that this will be working actually quite well. But I'm prepared for the worst.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
And we need the beacons on the fuel pumps.
Release parking brakes.
And off we go. Nice, I like the dirt stains from a coffee mug down here. Just noticed that my camera is not really centered. It is pretty out of line, right? Judging from the walls where I should be sitting. Yeah, this does not work out. Should be sitting like this one according to the seating indicators, but that's a bit strange. Or maybe it's not so bad. I will try. Right, off we go then. Engine start, ignition, and let's start number 1. From the outside, it's definitely cool. Avail, starting number 2.
Parking brakes.
Okay, Avail as well. Took good engine start. Start up back to normal.
Unlocking gear.
APU bleed off, APU master off, engine anti-ice 1 and 2 to on. Arm speed brakes, flap 2. Auto brake, max.
Tow truck
Flight
disconnected.
control
Bypass
check.
pin
Full
removed.
left, full right,
Left is
full
clear.
up,
Right
full
is clear.
down, full left, full right. And the trim up 5.5, that is set already. Sweet. Yeah, they're moving out of the way, that is good. We can kick on the... Oh, that's a lot of color on here. Don't think we can dial down the gain, can we? It says manual gain, but it's not doing anything apparently. Turn off the taxi lights. This is all looking good, and then we are... Let's go TRA, and then we are good to go. I believe. GSX is out of the way. Now let's see. Do we pick up speed? No, I don't think so. Oh, now there's the sound. Oh. Okay, because during startup I felt like they forgot to model the engine sound, but there it is now. It's the same sound back here, that's a bit disappointing, but okay. Still unhappy with my seat position. Maybe like that. Alright, so I believe we will stay here on Alpha, then take a left on November, and this will take us out to runway 22 right. Oh, another Hawaiian. Cabin is ready, that's cool. We can go TO config. So far, so good. There's really hardly anything to complain about up till now. Alright, taking November to the left. Probably kicking on strobes, crossing a runway. Wonder for the clean speed 237. Yeah, so we will have to stay on flap 1 until TJ or whatever the name of that waypoint is. But I mean that's only the first few miles. We will anyway be on flap 1. After that we can go up to 250 knots, so then we can also retract fully. Alright, coming up to runway 22 left. Strobes, landing light, takeoff, engine anti-ice is on. This is all set. We are TARA, weather radars on. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's interesting. Is that my controls? Because my right braking pedal is not working, only the left one. That's interesting. Never had this one before on any other aircraft. Okay guys, so for the departure we will stay in managed mode as long as it works. If it stops working properly, then we will switch to manual mode, of course, or selected mode I think it's called in the Airbus. And so let's rock and roll. First time ever in the A330-200. Now I am curious about these engine sounds for the takeoff. judging from the taxi, it should potentially be pretty nice. Chrono, and let's get ready. Off we go. Manflex 45, SRS, runway, auto thrust, blue. Not too bad. Not too bad. Oh, that's 100 knots. Nah, this takeoff calculation cannot be right. In wet conditions, there's no way. Toga. Haha, it's so incorrect, holy shit. Let's go flying. That was messed up. That was messed up badly. Yeah. Oh, need to pull a bit more. Yeah, flight director is messed up as well. Climb power. Flight director off. Yeah, now way too late on the turn. I did put too much trust there in the nav capabilities. Oh man, everything looked so good on the ground. I really felt like I was not doing right to iniBuilds and the aircraft, but now I know again what the issue was. We're still heading for the intercept. Okay, whatever. Let's keep climbing and let's speed up a little bit. Maximum to 10. Let's go flap 1. Yeah, it's a pure RNAV departure, right? Otherwise we could have dialed in all the backup navigation, but that did not work. Okay, selected speed 250. Speeding up further. I do like the engine sound though. Flap up. Heading. Autopilot. Open climb. Where are we heading to port? Nav. .250. Really shitty weather. It's brutally loud in here. Oh my gosh. We're really nestled into that bad weather here. Let's try the flight directors again. It looks a little bit better right now. Maybe it really only was the initial hiccup, but well, let's see. I wonder when we will come through those clouds. Yeah, but how bad was this takeoff calculation? That was beyond bad, actually. That was like, it did actually not work out whatsoever. I should have used the SimBrief calculator, also as a reference. Completely forgot about that. Anyhow, since I do not know when we will actually go through the clouds, let's do the break here, and I will meet you guys for a... Yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting landing into Honolulu later on. But until then, we have around 10 hours to enjoy the in-flight service. Oh, there's some sky. Alright guys, so thanks for joining me on the departure, and I will catch you later. Enjoy. Hello folks, welcome back. Just as we are hitting the coastline of Hawaii. How beautiful is that? That looks really stunning, I have to say. So cool after flying so many hours over the ocean to arrive here and to see this, look at this Honolulu right down there. And that's the airport peeking through the clouds back there. Alright, we are approaching 10,000 feet. And yeah, well, what's there to say? So during the cruise, it has been fairly stable, the aircraft. I mean, it's to be expected, right? So then no major hiccups during cruise would be really bad if there were any. But it worked all right. I did fly most of it real time. I did use a little bit of fast forwarding toward the end there to get this flight done still today. And so now flight time is at 8:20. It's actually it was a little bit longer, considering the fast forwarding. But yeah, so now we are set up for our arrival into Honolulu, and yeah, we will be landing on runway 08 left via the Oka transition. There is some constraints on here, maximum 210 mandatory 6,000. I have to be honest with you guys, I don't mind going a little bit faster because it's still a whole lot of ground to cover from this point, and since we're flying offline, I know there will be no other traffic, so yeah, we will take it as it goes. Same as for the departure, we will not fully rely on the flight directors and the navigation mode, so we might take it manually, but let's see. I'm confident that the aircraft is doing quite alright on this one. I mean, let's see. I to be honest, I don't know actually, so let's see how it turns out to be. Also, one thing I'm noticing right now is fuel on board. That's, I think, just a little bit high, so maybe for the last bit of like 2 hours of flight where I did use time compression, the fuel burn was not calculated correctly as well, but that's just minor things. Regarding the speeds, it is super slow. I mean, the A330-200 has the same wing as the 300, so it's quite natural that it can go very slow. So I guess what most airlines would use typically is a config 3, so we will do that. If I remember correctly from the A330, there is no such button as there is on the A320, where you have to select flap 3 up here as well. I don't think this exists. Right, other than that, weather is quite beautiful. I had the Mater open just a second ago. Actually, real world ATIS. It is windy though, 040 at 8, gusting 17. Good visibility, fuel clouds 2600, scattered 3800, scattered 6000, 28 degrees. And that's exactly the reason why we are flying here, right? Out of cold Boston early on. Mandatory 6000 for Luca, so let's have this in here. Yeah, so flap 3 is still auto brake medium. We don't want to spend too much time there on the runway. We are slowing down to 210. Oh, okay, this works surprisingly well then. That is even better than I expected. Right, then I think we can arm those fellas. And yeah, looks good so far. There is, I believe, no landing calculator in here. Check. Yeah, no, there's not. I mean, it's not too critical in most cases anyway, so not really needing this one. Yeah, that's the airport. So that's gonna be exciting to see, because iniBuilds just updated Honolulu for the Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 platform just recently, a few weeks ago. So it will be cool to check it out. Right. Yeah, so this will actually take a bit of time to get there now. Let's see, are we brave enough to take a shortcut? Maybe, let's see. Otherwise it would still... Well, on the other end, it would be cool to see if the aircraft actually follows. Bam, that's the power coming in. I think that sound modeling is just a little bit off. Ah, overshooting the speed, but it is gusting winds apparently. Alright, yeah, let's keep it descending. Speed descent. Right. Landing system, and wow, there was one more thing I just wanted to say right now, but now it slipped my mind. Anyhow, I don't think it was too important. Fantastic aircraft on the exterior, and I have to say now, for the approach so far, the managed modes worked very good. Nothing to complain about really. I've now locked in speed 200, we are on flaps 1. Can drop back a bit, just to get a bit of distance to that flap 2 marker. Yeah, bang on the localizer. Let's see, approach. Lockstar. And let's see, go around altitude will be 5,000. Yeah, okay, I need to keep up the speed a bit.
$2,500.
All right. Constrained. Now the glide slope should be moving in slowly. There it comes. Miles out. Let's go flap 2. Speed 160. One thing I'm just thinking about, since we have variable winds and gusting winds, maybe we can lock in 143, adding a bit more speed for the config 3. Okay. Right, that's the glide slope. Go around altitude 5000 as set, then we will drop the gear. Nice. Alright, and I'm almost a bit late. Flap 3 managed. Cabin, yeah, we will not wait for cabin. Taxi lights, turn off lights. This is all set. Landing checklist, landing. Ika memo, landing. No blue part from cabin, but we will disregard that. Now let's see how the aircraft handles the gusting winds as well.
1000.
My aircraft. Performance is bad compared to other aircrafts I've flown before, but I'm not sure if that's due to the scenery or due to the aircraft. Come on, speed, don't drop too much. Now cabin ready as well, landing in a bit. Oh, look at the speed tape, it's going crazy. That's gonna be a bit of work.
500.
Ooh, now we're dropping like crazy.
400.
Man, this is fun.
300.
Yeah, still stable, that's okay. Oh, now we're ballooning again.
100 above.
It's challenging conditions.
Minimum
Continue.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
We're down, that was quite okay. Reverse. This will drop a bit hard. Where's my reverse status? Idle forward, manual braking. Whew. That was much more exciting than I expected, but that was fun. That was great fun actually. Oh, did the speed brakes not come up? Didn't pay any attention to it, but seems like they did not come up. Alright, let's take a left exit. The scenery does look a bit weird. Is it really the proper iniBuild scenery? Maybe I have something overlapping here, maybe that's why performance is so bad, I don't know. Anyhow, let's continue to the gate. Right, first time I'm parking back here on the Alpha stands. Okay, there we go. Park and brake. APUs available, cutting 1 and 2. APU complete. Fuel pumps coming off. Beacons, seatbelts. And that's it, right? Hot brakes, okay, let's put on the fan. Weather radars off. Performance is terrible, what's going on? Ground then. That's GSX. Alright. Alright folks, so here we are. Welcome to Honolulu. That was kind of cool flying the A330-200, but still it's not really the aircraft yet I'm hoping for. So once again, if anyone out there from iniBuilds is listening or watching, please give this aircraft some love. It's the A330 never got any love in any kind of simulator before, and I'm still frustrated from the days back in P3D with the Aerosoft one. So I'm really hoping for this aircraft to finally become a good airliner to fly. I think especially the 200 version. It's a kind of a niche aircraft, but it's fun to fly. I think it looks cool as well, so it would be so nice if iniBuilds would fix this and make it a proper aircraft. And to be honest, I mean it's not far away from it, right? So based on today's flight, it seems like there's not a massive amount of work required to make this a really good and proper airliner. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning in to this Hawaiian Airlines flight, and yeah, let's see what's up next. I'm not quite sure. Maybe we will be back in the 777 as well, maybe the A350, but also the A340 got an update, so there's so much stuff that's going on. I can hardly cover it all. But if you want to see anything specific, then of course let me know in the comments below. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.